Welcome to 10.5, the official podcast of the OPP Association. I'm honored to be your co-host, Scott Mills.
And I'm Emily Brown, and we're the Strategic Communications Coordinators for the OPP Association, and your host for the 10.5 podcast, the official podcast of the OPP Association. The OPP Association is the sole bargaining agent for the close to 10,000 members of the Ontario Provincial Police in Canada. Our members are our focus and our strength, and we aim to provide important information to our members and the public about matters that affect policing in the province of Ontario.
And today we're delighted to welcome to the 10.5 podcast the president of the Ontario Provincial Police Veterans Association. Rob Pilon is joining us today from his home near Sturgeon Falls, Ontario. We know that he likes to go to Florida, so we were kind of thinking he might call in from Florida. We might be a little bit jealous about that because it's snowing here as we record this in late November in Ontario with our freezing temperatures. But Rob has told us pre-recording he is in Sturgeon Falls, so I bet you he has more snow than us down here in the south. So welcome, Rob.
Well, thank you very much, Scott and Emily. Good to be here.
Today, we're going to be talking about basically what the Veterans Association is, the benefits of becoming a member or being a member, who's eligible to be a member, the mental health of our OPP retirees, support and benefits for retirees, and much more. So a full plate of conversation happening today, and there's no better person to answer all of these questions than Rob. So Scott, over to you for the first question.
Well, Rob, do we call you President Pilon, or do we call you Rob, or what do we call you?
I prefer you call me Rob. The president of the Ontario Provincial Police Veterans Association is not like being the president of the United States or anything like that.
Okay, Rob. We're wondering if you could tell us a little bit about yourself for the listeners that don't know who you are. I know you're a very humble man, and I just feel that the world needs to know a little bit more who Rob Pilon is.
Sure. Thank you very much, Scott. I'll begin by telling you about my career with the OPP. I started in 1973. My first posting was in Sturgeon Falls. I was not a typical police rookie at the time. I was 22 years old, married to the beautiful Suzanne. We showed up at the detachment with all four of our children, and the first thing the staff sergeant told me was, are you 22 or 32? And that was how it started with the OPP. Within a couple of years, I was transferred to a one-person detachment called Duberville. No longer exists. A couple of years later, I was transferred to Midland Detachment. While I was at Midland, I got a call from a deputy commissioner asking me if I would go back to Duberville, the one-person detachment. I did. In January 1980, went back to Duberville. Unfortunately, it was a bit of a Wild West type of place. In June of 1980, I was in a shootout with a couple of desperados and got shot 3 times. A couple of years later, I transferred to Sudbury Detachment. About a year later, I was transferred to Sudbury DHQ. A short time later, I was promoted to corporal in the crime unit in Sudbury. And then I got promoted to sergeant and transferred to Hearst Detachment. Really enjoyed the Hearst Detachment. Sometime after I got there, they redesignated all the sergeants to staff sergeants because the corporal rank disappeared. 4 years later, I was transferred to North Bay DHQ. A couple of years later, I was promoted to inspector and transferred to Burlington. And in 1995, I was promoted to superintendent and transferred to Northeast Region Headquarters. And I retired there in 2003. I am married, as I said, to the beautiful Suzanne. We have 4 children, 10 grandchildren, and 1 great-granddaughter. Our 2 eldest followed in my footsteps. Janine Married Grassi, retired as a sergeant from the North Bay PCC in 2021. And our son Mike Pilon is presently regional commander of Northeast Region. And we live in Sturgeon Falls, and we're very happy here.
Oh, that is quite an impressive career. And in talking with you, you just sent shivers up my spine when you said you've been shot by these desperados, because it's a little bit hard to talk about that stuff even years later. I think you'd probably agree with me. So, Rob, we're going to get into who can be a member of the OPP Veterans Association. And when we last talked, I think I told you that one of your very active members, Dave Osborne, had invited me to be a member, and I couldn't. I'm a retired Toronto guy. Why would I want to be OPP Veterans Association type thing? And I kind of was interested, but I just never really got around to it. But after your conversation, I actually signed up, and it was quite easy to sign up. And then I got mail from you with my membership card and a little sticker for my car, and I'm really proud of that now. And I was just wondering if you could tell me kind of who can be a member and what the benefits are for joining the OPPVA.
Well, Scott, obviously, I've been a member of the OPP Vet since 1999. I joined 4 years before I retired, mostly because I got recruited by an old friend, J.P. Racine, who was the chairman of Chapter 12 of the OPP Vets at the time. And he needed a secretary, and he thought that Superintendent Pilon would make a great secretary, and obviously I did. Since that time, I've come to realize that the Vets Association is not just for retirees. I honestly believe that anyone nearing retirement, within a couple of years of retirement, should seriously think of joining the Vets. One of the greatest benefits of doing that is because being involved with an organization made up of people who have retired, mostly. It's very, very gratifying to be able to get some answers. When you're retiring, it's a very difficult step in life, and it's so nice to be part of a group of people where you can ask any question you want. I mean, any question about retirement life, whatever it is that you might be wondering about. This group of people can sit around at a luncheon and they can answer any one of your questions. The other part of it is, since, of course, I've retired, I came to realize that retirement is a very difficult step in anyone's life. It certainly was for me. I can honestly say that I didn't miss the OPP as much as you might think. However, I certainly missed the people, the camaraderie, the sense of belonging. And by being a member of the OPP Vets, it gave me an open window to be able to continue that sense of belonging. And of course, this group of people are there to advocate for me and for all of its members. And I guess I'm talking about a reconnect with the good part of being a police officer, and that's your fellow officers and the civilian people that you work with. And those are some of the greatest benefits of being a member of the OPP Vets. There's also the social aspect of getting together with like-minded people and just shooting the breeze and realizing that all the things that happened to you during your career also happened to a lot of other people during their careers, and it helps to be able to go through and live with the bumps in life as you go along.
And how many members are there, Rob?
Right now, we have well over 1,700 regular and associate members. We have 385 life members, 282 honorary members, well over 2,300 members right now. I certainly would like to make sure that we grow that group, because there are a lot of retirees that have not joined the Vets for whatever reason.
So, Rob, I mentioned that I was a member, but I was not an OPP officer. Can you explain who exactly is eligible for membership?
Absolutely, Scott. Our bylaws are wide open and are on our website. People can read them, but I'll just summarize them for you. Active members and civilian staff are eligible for membership. And, of course, any active or any retired member or civilian staff are eligible for membership. And anyone else who has 5 or more years of police-related experience can apply to the OPP vets. And the reason for that was that we wanted to include people from smaller police departments, certainly in the northern part of the province, who do not have their own retiree associations, so that we could provide them with an opportunity to be part of a group of people that think likewise and to socialize with.
And Rob, what's the easiest way to get the ball rolling if somebody's interested in becoming a member?
It's very, very simple. It's just go to the website, OPPVA.ca, and on the left-hand side there's a button that says Join. And fill out all your information. Pick one of our 24 chapters to belong to, and away you go.
Too easy. We're going to switch gears a little bit here and talk about mental health. And of course, that's a high priority of yourself and the OPPA. Can you explain how the OPPVA supports retirees when it comes to mental health, and what's your vision for the future regarding this?
Well, I'm a very strong advocate for any kind of mental health assistance that we, as an association, can provide any one of our members, or anyone actually. And I'll start by just giving you a short story about one of our members in Chapter 12, just last year, turned 80 years old. And as the secretary of the local chapter, I'm also the president of the OPP Vets, but I'm also the secretary of our local Chapter 12. I called him to invite him to our next meeting so that he could receive his certificate. And when I called him, he started crying. And it's never a good thing when an 80-year-old person starts to cry when you call them. I kept him on the line for quite a while. I then asked him if he was okay if I hung up. I called a fellow member who lived just down the street from him. I sent the member over. That member spent several hours with him, helped him out in several ways. But one of the main ways that he received assistance was by contacting Encompass. And I can't say enough times how important it is for everyone to realize that a call to Encompass can be a life-saving moment. This person that needed this assistance and was having this difficulty, the next day called me and said, "You saved my life. I was actually thinking about it yesterday." And that, my friends, is one of the main reasons that I live. That's why I serve, and that's why I continue to do the things I do, is that we never know whose lives we touch along the way, but it's very important that we look after those people that we may not even know need help. And that's a short story to tell you my commitment to mental health and its advocacy in our organization.
That's a very touching story. You shared that story with me, and that was kind of our motivation for wanting you to come and share here today. Rob, thank you for all you're doing. I know there's a lot of other OPPVA members out there that are doing similar work to you, and it's so greatly appreciated by us at the OPP Association and so many others, Rob. Thanks so much for that.
It is my pleasure, Scott.
Yeah, we've heard that we talk with the Encompass Mental Health Wellness Program people quite regularly, and it's all confidential. Of course, we're talking about kind of marketing and things like that for it. But you made that call to that member. Are there any plans or any visions for kind of doing that on a wider scale moving forward?
Yes, Scott, and thank you for asking. The other thing I wanted to mention is that I'm also doing a segment for the Mindset Matters series with Encompass. I'll be recording that session sometime in the next month or so. And we'll be talking again about these kinds of issues and how important they are. But one of the initiatives that I started as a new president of the OPP Vets within the last year and a half is what we call Vets Watch. And again, because of the incident that I was involved in and because of my past experiences, I've come to realize that a lot of people are sitting at home, they're lonely, they're depressed, they don't have family or friends nearby, and that's why the vets are very important, and that's why joining the vets is very important. And I've asked a couple of our directors to start a new program and research it, and we're going to call it Vets Watch. It's being piloted in Chapter 18, which is Aurelia. As we speak, it started already and going to be continuing into January and February, and then we're going to roll it out to the whole province. But basically what it is a group of volunteers from each chapter will be calling each member of the chapter on a regular basis, and they will have training and they will have questions to ask, key questions that will help them to determine if this person needs further intervention or some kind of reference or immediate help. And I think this is very important, and I'm very happy to report that we're well on our way doing this across the province. I would imagine that it's going to roll across the province in April or May of next year.
So, Rob, you talked about benefits before, and I thought this might be a good time to explain the benefits, how they work for retirees. Do you keep your benefits, and what is the pension like, etc.?
Well, first of all, I'd just like to say that we are unbelievably fortunate to be members of an organization that has a great benefits package. I have a couple of very good friends that are retired from the municipal forces, and they lose their benefits at the age of 65. Many of them do. And that is something that many young police officers don't think about when they're working. They don't want to worry about benefits or retirement, but let me tell you that it comes up very quickly, and it's an absolutely wonderful thing to be able to say as you get older, when you need those benefits, whether it be vision care or hearing aids or shoes or dental, it's very, very important that those benefits are there and are of benefit to you during those years when you are going to use them. As far as the retirement goes, it's wonderful. A lot of people don't think that they're going to be able to survive financially. As long as you do a little bit of planning, and as long as you don't start with the mindset that when I reach 30, I'm out, and I'm not going to ever think about the OPP again. Planning is long before that 30 or 31 or 32 or 38 or 45 year mark. So those are very important things. One of the benefits that I really want to mention that's very important to older people is the travel benefit. We have travel insurance, and it's very rare in industry and anywhere else for people to have a benefit for travel. But when you get older and you like to travel, and Sue and I are going to Florida for 3 months, January, February, March, and it's really nice to have a travel benefit so you don't have to worry about your health benefits when you're out of country or out of outside your area.
It's great you mentioned that, Rob. Emily and I were having a conversation with the OPP Association President John Cherasolo yesterday just about this fact. And some members, especially serving members, younger members, they don't realize how good a benefit package that we actually have. And, let's be honest, there's been a few hiccups with Canada Life this year as they took on a lot more business outside of the OPP's business. And I'm just going to take a little second here to say that Target Benefits, who's the administrator for the benefits for the OPP Association, they do a phenomenal job at answering questions and connecting you and getting what you need done in a timely way. And we're regularly putting that information out on blast outs. And we even now have a dedicated number to Canada Life that you can call into if you're an OPPA member covered by benefits. And you put your policy number in there and you get somebody answering the phone right away. So there's no wait. And that is extremely beneficial if you've got any questions. So where you get all that information is on our new OPPA website. And by subscribing to our OPP Association blast outs for the members. And I would say that the vast majority of OPPVA members are also OPPA members, because even when you retire, if you're a commissioned officer, you come back to being an OPPA member. So we're regularly putting up-to-date information on benefits out to the members on the website, and sending it out on the email blast outs. And if you want to sign up for our new website, please do so. There's instructions out there on the new website, publicly available at OPPA.ca. Click to the blog section and you'll see those instructions. If you're having any trouble, you can email our receptionists, Dawn and Julie, at the front desk at OPPA head office in Barrie, Ontario. And that's OPPA at OPPA.ca. Or you can call in. The number there is 705-728-6161. And Dawn and Julie are fabulously patient in helping anybody at any technology level at trying to get onto that website and getting signed up for those blast outs. So we've got, I think we're well over 4,000 signups to our new website, and it just launched. So people are signing up. I know, Rob, you were saying that you were interested to know if the retirees were signing up, and they are. So if you're hearing this and you're a retiree and an OPPA member and haven't signed up, please do so. There's one issue. There's this thing called a WIN number, and some retirees don't have it. And I know. Did you go through a process like this, Rob? Just maybe your experience would help somebody else that's listening.
Absolutely, Scott. Just a couple of weeks ago, I was, of course, registering for the new website, which everyone should do, and I certainly encourage everyone to do that. And because I didn't have a WIN number, I retired way too long ago, a little over 20 years ago. I had to call the office, and within minutes, those two nice young ladies answered my call, and they had me up and running. I had the password, and I was logged into the new website within a very few short minutes. So I strongly recommend anyone to get registered, visit the website. There's a wealth of information there.
Now, as we cruise into the end of our conversation, Rob, a segment that we like to do is we like to ask our guests about their 3 wishes for change in the world, whether it's in, for the vets, for you yourself personally. We're all at about just shy of 70,000 downloads of this podcast today, which we're pretty proud of. And some of the things that have been mentioned have actually been implemented in real time. So can you share with us your 3 wishes for change, Rob?
Well, thank you, Emily. I certainly hope that you and Scott are both genies and can make these come true. In light of the difficulties that our world is facing today, my first wish would be that men would stop killing each other in the name of religion, pieces of land, or to satisfy their own egos, or whatever causes people to be wrong. And I hope that our world can be a little bit safer and more inclusive place. My second wish would be to make sure that all of our working officers and civilian staff have a health and have happiness, because happiness is very important, and that they go home safely every day. And my third wish would be a blessing for those who are responsible for the day-to-day leadership of the OPP, especially Commissioner Carrique and the OPPA, for all that they do and all of the decisions they have to make. Those are my three wishes.
Rob, that's I'm just heartwarming what you just said, and thanks for saying that. And we are recording this in late November 2023, and it's for release in January 2024. And given the context of when we're doing this, do you have any final words, Rob, as we head into the new year?
Well, yes, I'd like to end the conversation on a little bit of a lighter mood, and I think it's important for everyone to realize that wherever they are in Ontario while they're during their police career, just remember that one day it'll all be done, and that you get to relax and retire and do those other things that you always wanted to do, like going to Florida and basking in some sunshine while everyone else is freezing and shoveling snow.
We'll be thinking of you, Rob, in January when this comes out, laying on the beach with envy. Thank you so much for
the opportunity.
Of course. Thank you for joining us today, Rob.
Have a good day.
You have been listening to Rob Pilon, President of the Ontario Provincial Police Veterans Association. If you like what you hear, please hit that subscribe button on your favorite podcasting platform. A new episode is released every other Friday. If you have any ideas or topics or guests that you would like to hear on this platform, please do email us at communications@oppa.ca. Thanks for listening, and until next time, stay safe.